Civil case, not criminal. So if they're found guilty, they could be ordered to pay refunds and substantial fines. Bill.
Tim, thank you very much. We continue with Eyewitness News in just a moment. The Daily News may be on the brink once again. Some new information about the late Robert Maxwell's financial empire may spell some very bad news for the news, for one of New York's last newspapers. Sir Robert Maxwell in a moment. Sir Robert Maxwell came to town earlier this year to save the New York Daily News. Last month, Sir Robert died when he was pushed, when he jumped, or when he fell from his yacht near the Canary Islands. Tonight, the Daily News may be on the brink of dying again because the Maxwell fortune may turn out to be a house of cards. Doug Johnson has the story.
The world business community continues to be rocked by the revelations of the problems in the Maxwell financial empire, and the waves are being felt at the Daily News. Although the paper is owned by the Maxwell family directly, there is little consolation in that. The Maxwell empire is made up of two public companies, one private. It appears the private company took loans from the public companies without telling the banks, and also took pension funds from the public companies to shore up the private firm. What does that mean for the pension funds at the Daily News?
As far as the pension funds for the New York Daily News are concerned, they are under the trusteeship of the Bank of New York, and they are intact.
When Robert Maxwell took over the Daily News, he said he would make it successful and keep it running. His son, Kevin, said the same thing after his father's death. But now the family needs money, want to sell the paper. Is it something somebody'd want to buy?
We have gone through several profitable periods during the fall, and we expect that this will be a profitable year for us in '92. Today, the Daily News stands on its own.
However, the banks may wind up with the Daily News and have to decide what to do with it. Some say it's not that hot a property.
It's unclear how long the banks would keep it going if it continues to lose money at a rapid rate. Some people think it is, although there's some disagreement about that. So it's way up in the air. The only buyer I think of is a possible emotional buyer, someone who wants to get into New York City journalism.
Kevin Maxwell was expected to come from London today to meet with Daily News executives here in New York. Now those executives have been told the trip has been canceled and they don't know when he will be coming. However, that may be the least of the question marks hanging over this newspaper. At the Daily News, Doug Johnson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
There are those people who suggest that Maxwell jumped off his yacht to his death because he knew how delicately balanced his publishing empire really is. The death of an airline tops our metropolitan briefs this evening. Pan Am is out of business. Its engines went silent after Delta pulled out of a deal to help Pan Am pull out of a dive into bankruptcy. Some passengers were forced to leave planes they were already on and to find other flights. Bike riders in Westfield, New Jersey have to wear a helmet starting next April. Westfield passed the helmet law last night. That's the first town in the state of New Jersey to do so. Prison officials reportedly have offered inmate John Gotti protection from his enemies. The man said to be the most powerful criminal in the country is said also to have a price on his head, but he's turned down the offer of protection in prison. When we continue with Eyewitness News, the honest truth about cheating. We'll introduce you to a young man who's written a book on cheating your way through college, but he says he's done nothing wrong. And a lot of money changed hands in baseball. Some important free agent pitchers moved around. Mark Stevens with the latest on the comings and the goings. Michael Moore is a student at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and he thinks most college students practice the fine art of cheating. So he's written a book, a how-to book, a guide to cheating your way through college. Jay Scott has the story of Cheating 101.
Need gift ideas? Some are considering Cheating 101, the benefits and fundamentals of earning an easy A. It is right there on the counter at the bookstore just off of the Rutgers campus, $10 a throw.
A bunch of people buy them already, though, too.
Does it surprise you that people don't want to talk about having bought the book?
No, I think a lot of people laugh and kind of joke and say, oh, maybe I'll use this for my finals this year because it's about that time now.
University officials will not speculate on how many students might actually cheat, and those who may have bought the book would not admit it. But the author has already sold close to 1,000 copies and is planning 3 more press runs at up to 2,000 per run.
It's a marketable topic, and I mean, anybody with business sense could tell that, you know, this is it.
We're not going to tell you how to cheat, but the book gives 50 specifics, ranging from cribbing to sophisticated methods of obtaining essay questions in advance.
A lot of people are taking the book too seriously, and the problem is people are commenting on the book. Like, you'll talk to deans here, and they'll say whatever they say about the book, but they haven't read it yet.
Are you disturbed by this?
Not at all. He's well within his First Amendment rights. I'm somewhat, you know, sort of amused by his entrepreneurship.
University officials have no trouble whatsoever putting a bottom line on the cheating book flap. They say students who are prone to cheat will cheat one way or another. They do not need a book to instruct them how to do it. In New Brunswick, Jay Scott, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
The best thing to be today is not a cheater, but a free agent if you really know how to play baseball. Here's Mark Stevens.
All kinds of money going around. 'Tis the season to spend that money in Major League Baseball. The Christmas shopping in the big leagues sure hasn't been affected by the poor economy. More free agent dollar signs flying around. The day after the Mets made Bobby Bonilla the biggest prize, the Dodgers re-signed free agent pitcher Oral Hershiser to a $10 million three-year deal. Then get Tom Candiotti and his knuckleball for $15.5 million over 4 years. Now, the Dodgers did lose Mike Morgan to the Cubs. 4 years, $12.5 million for a guy with a lifetime record of 67 and 104. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to be mediocre at something, be a mediocre major league pitcher. Now, speaking of mediocrity, Frank Viola's pitching was full of that last season, and he's a free agent. Question is, do the Mets want him back? Frankie was a disappointing 13 and 15 last year, and with the Mets spending wildly elsewhere and admittedly in the market for other pitching, is keeping Viola a priority?
I think he had some problems last year to deal with, not the least of which was the contract, although he won't admit it. And I'd like to think we still have a chance with Frank, but I'm not sure exactly where we go from here.
I'll tell you where. If the Mets don't offer Viola at least arbitration by Saturday, they can't sign him until May the 1st. In other words, see you, Frankie. Hey, if the Giants don't win Sunday, you can wave bye-bye to them. Right now, their wild card playoff chances are slim. And the prospect of playing against the Eagles' defense Sunday, that sure doesn't enhance those chances. Remember back to that Monday night game at Philly when the Giants were pummeled? The Eagles have beaten the Giants 6 of the last 7 times.
Actions speak louder than words, and their record versus the Giants stands as it is, and the only way that that's going to change if we go out and act upon our desires.
You know, the Jets are in better shape than the Giants. At least they control their own destiny. The Jets may have put the Buffalo game behind them, but not the Buffalo-type weather. With 3 wins, the Jets are in the playoffs, but what's their real motivation?
Money, playoff money.
If you want to get that playoff money and get a shot at the Super Bowl, you know, what more incentive do you need?
Well, at least they're honest. A couple of head coaching changes. The Flyers fire Paul Holmgren, and Del Harris steps down as the boss of the basketball Bucks, and it's plays like this that make you quit. Drazen Petrovic of the Nets gets his shot tipped in by Charles Shackelford of the Sixers. Helped his former team. Then there's the Nuggets' Winston Garland. Watch him spin, doesn't even look at the basket, and gets this one to go down. And the buzzer beaters. First, Golden State's Chris Mullin. He'll let fly, and he nails it. And the Bucks' Moses Malone, who takes the advice of Laker play-by-play man Chick Hearn.
It goes to Moses. Shoot it, Moses, from midcourt. Ah, he made it! Why'd I tell him to shoot it?
Hey, he was just following instructions. That do it in sports. I'm Mark Stevens.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Well, you saw the Jets playing in the snow during Mark's report. That told the story of the day. Bill Evans will be along in a moment with the AccuWeather forecast. Weather today was like a movie of a couple of years ago. They called it The Big Chill.
That's right. As a matter of fact, the Catskills, we're going to show you some pictures of that big ice storm. Now the snow is on top of it. We're talking about up in them there hills of Liberty, New York, at the Catskills. And when you get ice packed on power lines and on trees, this is what happens. They fall down and they crash. And look at that ice now covered with snow there. And it continues to snow in some squall-like scenarios there right now. It's 33 degrees, 43% humidity, so it's drying out. The barometer is rising. When that happens, good weather is on the way. Unfortunately, it is cold. Look at the wind. 17 miles per hour, up to 25 with some gusts. So the wind chill It's at 11 degrees right now in the city, colder in the outlying areas. The reason why is high pressure. It's coming right into the area now, and that caused the snow squalls today. It really squeezes out moisture when the cold, dry air comes in, hits some of those little pockets of moisture left in the upper atmosphere from an exiting snowstorm. That creates those snow squalls that blew across today. As the high moves across, we'll see the winds die down tomorrow and tomorrow night. That means we'll be in the center of the high, and then we'll be on the backside of the high when the winds shift to the southwest, but that may not happen until Sunday. We're looking at what has been some very cold weather because of high pressure and because of the jet stream. It's running across the area now, and the clouds are still coming up ahead of the front. But the front has moved off the coast tonight, and it continues to just drive on out into the Atlantic. The storm itself is packed some winds of around 69 miles per hour at Ocean City, New Jersey, and all that is left is just the wraparound clouds from the low. Here are the snow squalls that I was talking about just south of Binghamton, New York, a few right here in the northwest section of Connecticut, out on Long Island, right at the Twin Forks. There's a little snow right now, and some south of Brooklyn, Queens, and Coney Island. The jet stream now has moved to the north, and it's moved in what's called zonal flow. The winds in the upper atmosphere with the jet stream and the winds along the surface are out of the north, so that is going to keep it very cold across the area and just usher in a lot of cold air into the area over the next couple of days. Tonight will be the coldest night we've had for quite a while. The high pressure system is just dropping down southward now, and this double barrel high will move across, push a few clouds across, but the cold weather will be the main factor tonight and tomorrow. AccuWeather forecast weather map for tomorrow is going to show just a little bit of snow still in the Catskills tomorrow, but the cold weather will be with us and sunshine. Blustery, very cold tonight, 22. Tomorrow we're going to see just a little bit of some sunshine, and tomorrow's weather, it will be brisk with the wind dying down late in the afternoon. So tomorrow the 30 for the high will feel more like 20 during the day. Tomorrow night it's going to also be cold, as we'll drop down to 25 with those flurries possible late tomorrow night with the next system that moves in from the Midwest. Here's the exclusive AccuWeather 5-day outlook. A little snow early Friday, partly cloudy on Saturday, Sunday, as well as on Monday. Those temperatures begin to warm back up on Monday, but they will be cold for now, so do bundle up and stay warm.
And that wind hurts. Thank
Yes,
you
it
very
does
much,
hurt.
Bill. Now a look at some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 11. To battle a deadly form of cancer, you may have to reach no further than your medicine cabinet. A new study shows that people who take a common over-the-counter medicine can almost cut in half their risk of developing this kind of cancer. Dr. Jay Adlersberg will tell us about this weapon that doctors may soon use to battle the second leading cancer killer. Tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. Finally, in 3 days this week, Shiite Muslims in Lebanon have released 3 American hostages, the last of the American hostages. Joseph Sicipio on Monday, Alan Steen yesterday, Terry Anderson today. It is said now that the hostage ordeal is over, but Joseph Sicipio has lost his good health. The doctors say Alan Steen has brain damage because his captors kicked him so often in the head, and Terry Anderson has lost 6.5 precious years of his life at least. They are free, and that is the most important thing today, but it seems a bit premature to say their ordeal is really over. That's our report for tonight. Peter Jennings is next with World News Tonight. Tonight, the stories of Terry Anderson and William Kennedy Smith. For Mark Stevens and Bill Evans, for all of us at Eyewitness News, I'm Bill Butel. Thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you'll be back with us tonight for the late edition at 11 o'clock. Till then, good luck, be well, and good night.